So you can see here, my name tag is really coming along. I have a lot of images. I've done a very good job cutting them out. And now it's time to do a couple of those special effects that are in your rubric. So this effect is going to be, there's going to be an image that we fade. So I'm going to be putting a fade on myself in my astronaut suit so that it looks more natural. But first, I want to show you kind of like what a fade is and how it works. I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to just create a, just a colored box right now so you can really understand what the fade is. So I'm going to go ahead and just make a red box. And I'm just changing the color and using my paint bucket and filling on a new layer. I will eventually delete this, but I just really want to be able to show you exactly what a fade is. So here I have a red box. And basically, I'm going to make this box go from completely opaque to transparent. And you are going to be able to do this with any image you choose. So to apply a fade, we are going to go ahead and hold Alt while we press the Add a Layer Mask button. It's going to actually make our picture disappear. If you forget to hold Alt, that's fine. It will still work. It'll just be the opposite. So I'll actually show you both ways. So if I hold Alt and add a layer mask, you'll see a black square pops up and my picture is gone. This is your layer mask. Don't worry, if we disable that, your image is still there. So just so you know, it's still there. And then for this tool, we're actually going to be using, or for this effect, we're actually going to be using the gradient tool. We want to make sure that the gradient that we choose is white to black. So if yours is a color, go ahead and change that. And basically when we click and drag, we will see the image reappear, but this time as a fade. So on the one side, it's really opaque, and then it's very transparent on the other side. And whichever direction you drag that gradient tool in is going to be the direction that your fade is in. You can also hold shift to make sure it happens in a straight line. There are also different types of fades. So this is a linear fade. We also have a radial fade, so that will happen in a circle. And then we have a pyramid, we have a reflected, and we have diamond shapes. Typically for this project, you probably will only use the linear or the radial fade, but it's completely up to you. If I wanted the fade to happen, so if I wanted to do a radial fade and I wanted it to be reversed, all I would need to do is go to my gradient and swap which side the black and the white are on. So if I go ahead and swap that, now you'll see that it's going to fade from the inside out. So just so you know. But for my fade, I am going to do it this other way. So I'm going to go ahead and swap them back while I'm in the tool. All right, so say okay. So again, we're back to that fade. So I'm going to go ahead and disable or delete this and do it one more time. The first time I told you to hold Alt, it really doesn't matter. Just know that your paint colors will be kind of reversed. So if I go ahead and just add a layer mask, you'll see it's still there and the gradient will still work the same way. It's just one time you're using black and the other ones you're using white to do it. So it essentially works the same way. So either way works. I like to do it where the picture completely disappears. That's just me. Okay. So now I'm going to do it for real on my image. So this looks good, but it also is not like true to how life would be if I really had on like a space helmet. So I do want to fade the picture so that you can see some of that space helmet and reflection. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my face. I went ahead and cut it to the shape of the astronaut helmet, and I'm going to hold Alt, add layer mask. And then using the gradient tool, I am going to put my face kind of back in it so that it appears that my head is in a helmet and I actually have the glass in front of me, as well as the reflection of the moon and everything else that makes it look a little bit more realistic. So again, one more time, I'm going to go ahead and delete this layer mask. I'm going to Alt, add layer mask, and then go ahead and put my face back in. It's important to realize that you should be working on the mask. If I accidentally click over to just my photo, you'll see that I'm just now adding a white and black gradient to my face. So just make sure you are working on the mask and not the photo.